thank you to our sponsor, MBA Growth Partners.
Welcome to Studio 501c3. I'm your host, Kim Jones, CEO of the Nonprofit Village, which increases capacity and provides shared space for charitable organizations. This show features nonprofits that provide essential programs and services, and they are charities that the IRS has designated 501c3 because they provide a public benefit. And in most cases, your donations will be tax deductible. We are a proud partner of Montgomery Community Media, and MCM is your public access resource that provides a variety of information and programs relevant to Montgomery County. Today, I'm talking with Victoria Gao, the music director of Cantate. Cantate is one of the DC area's premier choral organizations. The Chamber Singers have been recognized for their innovative performances of newly commissioned and rarely heard choral works. Thanks for joining the show, Victoria.
Thank you so much, Kim. It's great to be here.
So, we've lived through a pandemic. And I think there has been this surge in people listening to music of all different kinds, because, we always hear music kind of heals the soul. And I think that talking with other people, I'm surprised by how many people have said that they have started to listen to more chamber music, choral societies, just as different art forms, musical art forms. So how does Cantate bring community together, when we've been through these kinds of experiences? And while you're telling us about that, share more about what the organization is doing.
Oh, fantastic. Boy, you've given me several ways that I could answer that question,
Yep.
But let me dive first into this experience of having come through this time of not being able to share our music, because I really, truly believe that music serves such a crucial function in people's lives, right? We not only can serve the function of giving people a moment to have a little release from what the world brings on, but we also can provide an opportunity to help process what it is that help people figure out how it is that they're going to respond to the world. And it was so hard for us during that period when we couldn't perform live and couldn't help people to respond in immediate time to what was happening. So we're really glad to be performing again, to be giving people that opportunity to just experience music, live music. That's so important. Cantate is an organization for the many years since it was founded in 1984, has been a chamber chorus that's really been known for doing both traditional repertoire, but also engaging in commissions, presenting new works, continuing to keep that creation of music alive, both on its own and in collaborating with other groups. So we've built up a really great background of that. And then we have also a new chorus that we've added under the Gentate umbrella. And that's the Cantate Concert Choir. So we have our chamber chorus and we have a larger chorus that's able to do some larger works and sort of make an impact in the community that way too.
So it sounds like a lot of innovation there and definitely a lot of collaboration. A very creative way to kind of grow your audience. Is that something that you've also had issues with because of having shutdowns and economic downturns and pandemics and everything, is trying to continue to grow the audience?
It's always a challenge, of course, in the arts, getting your voice quite literally heard above the fray. So by having the two choruses, it gives us a chance to sort of expand what we do and reach more people. Certainly, when we were not able to perform live, we did a lot on Zoom and that sort of thing to sort of keep our audience engaged.
Right. Well, one of the things you mentioned when we had talked once before is something about the Young Composers competition. what does that require in order to compete? And then what's the benefit to someone who's selected as a winner of that competition?
I love this. I love this because this is a way that we can be a part both of keeping musical expression alive, encouraging and fostering new musical expression, but also encouraging essentially the next generation. This is a young composers competition that we do biannually. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. So every other year, essentially. And we have made a recent change in this so that the composers who apply to this competition submit a work that they've already written, and then the winner is chosen, gets a chance to get to know the chorus, both of our choruses actually, and make a decision, and then to create a work that will work really well for us and for them. So it gives them a chance to have that collaborative approach.
Wow, what an experience for someone that might be at the early stages of their career. And again, just another way to reach out to more people in a different audience. One of the other things that I know from other members of your team that I had learned before was a program that you're now offering called Young Artists of Color, because Cantate really took action steps to be a more inclusive and equitable organization and kind of serving as a model for other arts organizations. Why was that important? We've only got about a minute before we're going to go to break, so we may break and then come back to it, but go ahead and get started.
Yeah, this is something that is of deep importance to me, is that opportunity to help to build a network for young artists of color, because getting a start in the arts so much has to do with the way being laid out for you by other people. So in thinking about what we could do to make the arts more equitable, I came up with this program called the Cantate Young Artist of Color program, and it supports on a competitive basis one artist a year, either a conductor, vocalist, or composer.
I'm going to stop you there. We're going to take a brief break, and then when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about that, as well as more about the musical artistry of cantate. Studio 501c3 on Montgomery Community Media. We'll be right back.
Today, I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars. Really tall. I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands? Yes. You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Can I get the now bar, please?
$1.
Have a good one.
Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Let me get a now bar.
Sure.
$1.
Appreciate you.
You got it.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. This is a serious problem, but one we can solve. Visit feedingamerica.org to help. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're feeding America.
Welcome back to Studio 501c3, your window into exceptional nonprofit programs in Montgomery County. I'm talking with Victoria Gao, the music director of Cantate. And before the break, she was explaining, so Victoria, let's go back to the Young Artists of Color and why you felt that this was critical to make sure that you became a more inclusive organization, and how other organizations can model that.
Great. So I mentioned that we support it's one artist, a young artist that's chosen each year, either a conductor, a vocalist, or a composer. And another sort of critical part of this program is that I have a board of advisors that's made up exclusively of established artists of color. To start with, we have one conductor, one composer, and one vocalist. And those people serve as mentors and advisors for the program. And we develop each year based on what the needs are for that particular young artist. For instance, our initial young artist for the first year that we had this program was a wonderful vocalist named Anthony Anderson. We presented him in recital. We've built relationships with our artists. We've provided some career guidance. And then each year for this program, the young artist from the previous year will serve on the advisory committee. So therefore be something of a peer mentor for the next young artist that comes through. So we feel like this is a program that's really built for the needs of the young artist rather than us imposing on that person what we think in all our wisdom is best for them. So we think it's a great model for this sort of program.
And that's how I actually first learned about you. I think I saw something on social media about that young man who, that was selected to perform with you, and then learned more and more and met some of your colleagues through other channels as well. So very impressive. And I think that's very important to make sure that you are, pulling from the community in multiple ways. One of the things I also noticed is you have recordings on your website. So people can actually go to your website, and I believe they're for purchase. It's a small fee, but you actually have recordings people can log on to and listen to.
Right. We have some recordings of works that are some recordings that were done under my predecessor, Giselle Becker, marvelous conductor who was with the organization for 25 years. And I believe we have a Christmas recording of Britain and some original compositions that are really fantastic recordings.
And I know people can go to the website and learn a lot more about the performances and all of the other programs. But as we're running down on time, what's next for the organization? What are your plans for the future?
Well, I hope to be able to continue to expand the presence of both of our organizations, be able to get out into the community for people who were a little bit less able to come to us, to make our music more accessible to all, and to continue to commission works that are relevant to the world around us and great music at the same time.
Oh, that's fantastic. Donors can also give to you. That will continue your work. So when they go to your website, I know that that's right there as well.
Donors, volunteers, we're always looking to expand everything from volunteer support to board support. And audience.
Okay. Well, and so viewers, volunteers, you can contact Cantate and find out how you can get involved. So we're going to have to stop here because we've run out of time, but I really enjoyed this conversation and making the viewers a lot more aware about Cantate, the programs, and all of the work that you're doing and how you're continuing to grow. So Victoria, thank you so much for sharing the extensive musical programs, the singers, the choir, and all the learning opportunities that are available.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Kim, and thank you so much for the important work that you're doing.
For more information on Cantate, visit their website at cantate.org. I'm Kim Jones. Thanks for joining us, and come back for another edition of Studio 501c3 on Montgomery Community Media.